have led to the current economic disaster. How about unfunded Medicare? How about unfunded Social Security? How about unfunded everything? Nothing the government's doing is funded. We're broke. We're in debt to the tune of, what, $4 trillion or more. National debt's bordering on 13. Nothing's paid for. We're finding out nothing here has been real. Look at all these unfunded pensions and health care plans for state employees in California and Illinois. And I think she really believes it, that she can convince the American people that they don't have jobs because of 2 wars that weren't paid for. One of them still going on, by the way, and in Afghanistan, and 2 unpaid tax cuts. Well, nothing Obama's done is paid for. And this is the problem. The spending, the out-of-control spending, which is putting every one of us, children and grandchildren, in debt, is exactly why. The spending is the issue. That's why there has been a rising up of average, ordinary, God bless them, American people who know that this is unsustainable and can't be maintained. You know, I love tweaking the media each and every day. It's easy. But by the way, I like to leave the house lights up. A lot of people don't want to see the audience. They're afraid of audience reactions. They just want the spotlight on them. I like the house lights up because I like to spot the liberals in the crowd. It's easy. You can see them. You know who you are. You're sitting next to them. They've been dragged here. They're not really sure they want to come, and they don't even want to enjoy it. And they want to laugh so much that they just will not let themselves be seen laughing. They will not let themselves be seen having a good time, because nobody should be having a good time, so it's not fair if you are, if they're not. But I can see them. I like to know who the liberals are. And I'm looking at you. I've spotted you. I've spotted all of you. I love it. So I love to tweak the media each and every day. And it's easy to do. And I even tell them I'm going to do it, and they fall for it. They think, the media thinks, that 20% of the American people believe Obama's a Muslim because I began calling him Imam Obama. They took this poll on how many people think he's a Muslim long before I started calling him Imam Obama. Well, why would anybody think Obama is a Muslim? He only wants to bring Khalid Sheikh. He wants to build a mosque at Ground Zero. Now, stop and think of that for a second. This is somebody who either doesn't understand why that's a bad idea, or does understand it's a bad idea and wants to just ram it down everybody's throats. Which, it's the latter, right? You think it's the latter. Perfectly understandable. Here's a guy and his absolutely insane Attorney General, Harry Holder, who wants to bring a guy, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who said, please kill me, martyr me, I want to meet the 73 virgins, kill me at Club Gitmo, kill me. No, we're going to bring you to New York. We're going to put you on, we're going to give you a 3-year forum to tell the world how rotten the United States is. That's what that trial's for, and it's going to cost $200 million a year that we don't have unfunded security for this trial for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and a couple of other of his henchmen. And everybody says, Rush, don't worry about it. They'll never find a jury that'll acquit. Oh, really, in New York? But why would anybody think that Obama has a problem with America and he wants to do why? It's out there, and it's so obvious, and it's so serious, and it's so real that people just can't face it. So they'll put it out of their minds, or they'll delay thinking about it, or what have you. But it really is we're at a crossroads here. Socialism, communism around the world has failed everywhere. It's even Fidel Castro. Did you see this? By the way, I got married. You see this? It's wife GPS. Wife GPS. Joy Behar. If there's anybody ever inappropriately named Joy Behar, there's somebody who's never happy. I used to work next door to her at WABC in New York. I mean, there's not a happy day in a woman's life. She's still, her butt's so tightly scrunched up because Elton John sang it my way. She just can't believe it. I remember I was the New York Post gossip columnist Cindy Adams a couple years ago invited me to go out on the town with her on a January night in New York, and I just love going into liberal enclaves and just blowing the places up. It's like, you know, it's like this is an electronic cigarette. Pull this baby out in an elevator and watch the liberals panic. I was over playing golf in Hawaii at a bar, licked on one of these things out. It's water vapor, there's no tobacco, there's no flame, and the manager comes up, Mr. Limbaugh, really, I'm sure you know we don't allow smoking here in the bar. I said, I'm not smoking. This is an electronic cigarette, and I unscrewed the filter, the cartridge, explained it to him. And, oh, okay. He walks away fine. I keep puffing away, and it comes back in 5 minutes. Mr. Limbaugh, really, people say you're setting a bad example. And one woman said, you're really enjoying it too much. Could you... So when Cindy Adams calls, says, would you like to go to an HBO private screening? Yes. And it was a movie starring Susan Sarandon, who was playing the character Doris Duke, the Tobacco Queen. And the screening was at the Time Life Center at, well, it's Columbus Circle. So we go in there, and folks, it is the ruling class. I mean, these people we talk about, these self-defined elites. But when we call them elites, they're not better than us. That's not what we mean. They think they're better than everybody else, but they aren't. They are a minority. We're being governed. We're being ruled by a minority. And that's going to change starting in November, but more on that in just a second. So I walk in with Cindy Adams, and you can just see Tina Brown and her husband, Harry, what's his face? Harry Evans. Short little guy. Tina's about here. You see that and you wonder, how does it work? Easy. And their eyes bug out. They look at me. I can't. They look at Cindy. Why'd you drag him in here? So guess who I see taking off her coat and checking it? Joy Behar. So, and she doesn't see me. Now, we literally worked together at WABC in New York for like 2 or 3 years. And I was very helpful to her. You know, ABC was trying to get her a television talk show for years. And I went up in New Haven, Connecticut to do a pilot with her. I flew out to Hollywood to do a pilot. I helped her every time she asked me to appear on her television pilots. And still she hates me. So I see her, and she's with this guy that's his boyfriend after 15 years. I mean, this guy, believe me, is so henpecked. The only thing he does behind her back is zip her up. If it weren't for his varicose veins, the guy would be totally colorless. So I see Joy over there, and I walk up, and I just give her a big hug. Joy! How are you? And she acts like she's being raped. She panics. She freaks. Oh, my God! What's happening? She sees me. You! How did you get in here? She really said that. How did you get in here? I said, Cindy Adams brought me. I mean, it was the last place I was supposed to be. I love just tweaking these people, and they sat me right behind Susan Sarandon in the screening. And right next to her daughter. And Susan Sarandon, of course, comes in late, the star, and she goes to the stage to explain this brilliant, moving
role that you played.